Blue Pikmin are some of my most beloved Pikmin types. Ever since I was a kid, watching my brothers play Pikmin 2, I always fell enamored whenever they would eventually stumble upon the blue onion for the first time. Then again, when I would go and play Pikmin 1 and 2 for myself, the blue Pikmin were always my favorite. Whether it was their magical powers to go into the water, or maybe it was just their lovable smiles, I could always count on the blue Pikmin. However, as the years went on and as I matured and learned of many unfortunate secrets, it was then when I discovered the cruel and unforgivable treatment bestowed upon the blues. It all begins, as everything should, in 2001. With the launch of airport security in Pikmin 1, we're greeted to small creatures known as Pikmin, but if you clicked on this video, you at least know that much. The introduction of blue Pikmin in this game was unceremonious to say the least. Once you get to the third area of the game, you can find the blue onion right away, requiring no puzzle solving and, if I'm being honest, being located in a completely dull location. Now, by that, I don't mean to say the forest navel itself is dull, far from it. On a first playthrough especially, the forest navel acts as an incredibly cool change of pace into a gloomy, isolated location. And in Pikmin 1, it's the only area which features the fiery blowhog, making it hostile to anything and everything that it encounters, excluding red Pikmin, but especially including blue Pikmin. From all of this, the spot you find the onion specifically seems designed to be only barely habitable for them. In fact, all they're given is a shallow puddle for a home. In Pikmin 1, 2, and 3, the blue Pikmin are always the last type to be discovered. Now, if you remember from about 95 seconds ago, I mentioned how I became enamored with the discovery of the blue onion in Pikmin 2 as a kid, and that's completely true. Pikmin 2 starts with us discovering that all Pikmin have learned how to defend themselves thanks to the experience with Olimar. And when we finally rediscover the blue onion, we can see that they're in a much better place. It almost appeared like Nintendo felt bad for the nightmare they were placed in Pikmin 1. But the guilt didn't last long. If we look forward to Pikmin 3, we can find the blue onion in a beautiful stream. It seems like Nintendo finally gave the blue Pikmin what they deserve. That is, if they were to deserve extinction. Once you complete the day you find the blue onion, you can get a travelogue where Alpha infers the blue Pikmin to be on the verge of extinction. Throughout my research, albeit very light, I found no other references to any specific type of Pikmin on the verge of extinction. It's a soberingly clear example of Nintendo's besmirching of blue Pikmin, and we're only just starting. One of the notable things of the Pikmin franchise is its stunning box art for each title, with each game having beautiful sceneries and hidden details scattered all across if you look close enough. For example, in Pikmin 1, if you take a quick look, the eagle-eyed of you may notice that here in the bottom left, you have a blue Pikmin who appears to be eating shit. Continuing to Pikmin 2, in the UOS box art, you can see our favorite Mr. Blue falling to his inevitable death. And in the PAL version, we clearly see him holding for his dear life. In Pikmin 3, here he is once again desperately holding on to a leaf. Here in Hey Pikmin, we actually see two blue Pikmin falling, as if one wasn't cruel enough. And finally, in Pikmin 4, well, if you look here, we can clearly see immense pain in his eyes as he struggles to have a smile on his face through all this torment. Now, one could say I'm cherry-picking and over-exaggerating all of this. Anyways, onto Pikmin Bloom. In several of Pikmin Bloom's splash screens, we can see an often reoccurring situation. By now, many of you can surely guess it. Of course, it's the torture and mistreatment of blues. If they're not dangling off of some plant, then they're already falling, or, in one case, whatever's happening here. And we can always play these off as some kind of messed up humor, but there's one case that I think is beyond cruel. If we look at this official render of Pikmin 3, nothing looks too special. Obviously, we have the now cliched blue tasting dirt, but nothing seems too harsh. Until we look inside the Bulborb's mouth. Nintendo. Now for one last item before we get back to the games themselves. Nintendo has made a few Pikmin short films, but there's one in particular I want to talk about today. In the short called Occupational Hazards, we follow Olimar and Pikmin as they deconstruct a machine. Throughout it, we see many instances of Nintendo bullying the blue Pikmin. Early on, we see Pikmin drop down onto a lever, flinging what's on the other side up to Olimar. At one point, a purple Pikmin gets onto the flying side, then two blues drop down to fling it. As you can guess, it doesn't go well. Continuing on, we witness one out of the 3 Pikmin deaths in the movie. As two yellows are having an awesome party conducting electricity, a fellow blue Pikmin sees it and tries to join all the fun, and painfully lost his life because of it. Next, we see two instances of a fiery blowhog attacking Pikmin, but for some reason, the only Pikmin ever burned were these two blues. And finally, near the end, while running away from a Bulborb, the Bulborb makes light work of blue, as a snack. Now, throughout all the art and all the movies, there's still one place that shows Nintendo's true feelings about the blue Pikmin, and that's the games themselves. Now, I could just steal every point from this video by Psylocke Hawk, but he probably explains it better than I could, so after this video, check out the video in the description, Blue Pikmin Need a Buff, because it explains exactly how they're set up to fail in the games. But to give you all a brief rundown, out of all Pikmin types, the blue Pikmin have the least incentives to actually use. From low attack power to low versatility, they're easily presented as the weakest link. But again, go check out the video for more on this. Now, there's one thing that I've been mostly ignoring for the entire video, that we need to get to, and that's the amazing power you have to subscribe to this channel, and ding the bell to see all future uploads. But the thing I've really been ignoring is, of course, the one, the only, Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 at the time of this upload is just days away. It's kind of incredible. We've been waiting an entire console generation for this, and sure, there's other Nintendo franchises who get far worse treatment, but it's still incredible to see Pikmin 4 coming, or already here for some of you viewers. To celebrate, I've plucked a Pick carrot out of my garden and put a few candles inside. Here's to you, Pikmin 4. No. Now, I haven't really mentioned Pikmin 4 for a few reasons. One, obviously it's not out yet, but I mean, there is a demo, so why don't I just play that? Well, for me, I'm wanting to play this game all natural, with a physical copy and no designated endpoints, and if I'm being honest, I haven't even beaten Pikmin 3 yet. I've played Pikmin 1 and 2 my entire life, but I've never actually owned Pikmin 3 until about a month ago, and I've been playing as much as I can, but I won't start Pikmin 4 until I've beaten the third. Now believe me, I'm as ready as I'll ever be for Barbenheimer. 3 absolutely bonkers pieces of media all releasing the same day, and I'm here for it. And I hope you'll be too. There's still many things I could talk about with the blue Pikmin, from their ever-changing mouth anatomy, to the enemies specifically eating blues first in the games, to the new competition they'll have in Pikmin 4 with Ochi and Ice Pikmin. But I think I'll leave that for another day. In the end, we still have to ask the question, does Nintendo really hate the blue Pikmin? Well, honestly, who knows? They either really despise them, or they just have the cruelest sense of humor, and all this torture is some inside joke. Now, am I really upset at this? Well, maybe a little, but nah, it's all good fun. And I hope you had some fun, and if there's anything I missed from the torture, make sure to tell us in the comments, and make sure to check out the blue Pikmin buffing video. You won't regret it. With that, make sure to get 8 hours of sleep, and always keep cool.